everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be a Q&A about uni, first year uni, going into second year uni, and I was just answering some common questions that I've had on my Instagram or in my comments box, in my comment sections of my YouTube videos. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. I have never done a Q&A, I don't think, on my YouTube channel before. I'll let you guys just get straight on into the video. Originally going to be doing this video with Fifi, who is also my housemate, but she has a lot of her own stuff going on at the moment and I don't want to force a camera into her face until she would like to come on. So I actually wrote all of the questions down I have had. So what was the most difficult part about moving away for uni? So if you guys don't know, I live for uni. My uni is about an hour and a half. It can take up to 3 hours. I do drive now. In first year I actually didn't have a car, so I think that also made it quite difficult for me because I didn't have the money to pay 30 to 40 pounds each time that I wanted to go home. So when I first moved to uni, I had already made the decision that I wasn't going to travel home as often as I had seen some other people. A lot of my friends had informed me, like my friends that are a little bit older than me had told me that a lot easier just by sticking out the first couple of months and not going home, because what it meant was that they got used to living by themselves and they didn't feel as lonely and they kind of got used to it and adapted to the new living environment. And I would say that I think it did benefit me quite well. The hardest part I think about moving away was trying to make the university halls feel like home. Also knowing that you're so alone, because I really suffer from my anxiety, especially socially, and I can really overthink things. And when I moved into my uni hall, everyone else, like all the 5 other people, had moved in 2 days prior to me moving in, so I was the last person to move in. But yeah, moving away for uni, I surprisingly feel like it still feels weird for me to come home, and this is something that I haven't really talked about much, and I haven't even discussed this on my channel, but I feel like I am quite good at being alone. And by being alone I mean obviously I'm surrounded by other people, especially in the uni house, but I am quite good at getting a routine, you know, making my dinner, watching a film to chillax, getting my work done. And I'm really I think I surprised myself with how independent I am, but I never realized how much of an independent person I was until I moved away for uni. And in a weird way, it feels so strange to come home and ask, can I use this, can I use this, do you mind if I use this to clean this, or like, oh, I'm gonna clean this so you can't like go in there for a little bit, because coming home you have to ask all of those questions and it's very strange. And one thing that I really haven't addressed is the fact that I don't think I'm going to move home after university. I don't really feel like I answered that one as well as I could have, but I feel like I'm just in a bit of a rambly mood, so that's probably why. What do you think of uni culture? I assumed that this meant like drinks, drugs and sex. One thing for me is I was really worried about uni culture, with the whole like you get wasted, you know, you drink a lot, you do drugs, you do things that you've never done in your life. I would personally say I'm not someone who drinks that often at all. I know people at uni that go out like every other night or every single night or drink every night, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like some people enjoy that, some people don't. I personally don't, because of a money saving point of view. Like, I think that it's really stigmatized, the uni culture, and it puts a lot of pressure on people to feel like they have to drink or do drugs or smoke, when actually they don't. And I feel like, especially in today's day and age, there's a lot less pressure to force people into doing things that they don't want to do. If someone doesn't want to drink, everyone seems to be chill about it. At least everyone in my friendship group, and the people that I've gone out with, they're so chill if someone just orders a lemonade. Like there's nothing wrong with that, or even water. But this is coming from someone whose partner, like my boyfriend, is, I guess, teetotal. He just doesn't drink. He doesn't like alcohol, so he just doesn't drink. And there's never been any pressure when we go to social events for him to drink either. So I think it's something, again, that I think we're moving away from. I would say there's definitely a culture there, but only for a certain percentage of people who want to do it or who have the money to, and that's perfectly fine. Next question: how do you truly feel about your degree? Interesting question. I absolutely love my degree. I'm really lucky to enjoy it so much. I've had such a great experience so far. But yeah, I feel really lucky and blessed because I love my university degree. wouldn't change it for the world, and I know that at the end of this degree is a secure job that I absolutely love and I have a pure passion for. I love it so much, and I particularly am obsessed with when I go into placement and I do the job. And even though it's hours and hours and hours of work and hard work at that you put in, to me, like, it doesn't feel like work because I just love it. I'm so passionate about it, and I'm really proud of that. Is the workload like? I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. It is quite intense. It's definitely picked up in second year. We have like pre-reading, which is like what you do prior to a lecture or seminar, so you do that before that, and then but after you have your lecture or seminar, you then have an intersession task. So that's like the task that you do straight after or in between the next two lessons, but then you will have pre-reading again. So you have pre-reading, lecture, intersession task, pre-reading, lecture. So the intersession task is to consolidate learning from the lecture prior, and then you do the pre-reading to link to the lecture that you're going to have, and then you do the intersession task to consolidate what those two things taught you. But imagine that for every single lecture that you do. How did you make friends at university? Honestly, guys, I don't know. I will say one thing that I think is generally misconceptualized is like a lot of people are like, oh, there's so many people at uni, like you'll make friends super quickly. But I would say like when I moved in, or like depending on how you live, like the way that my uni does it is like you have like each floor of a flat is like who you live with. So it's like flats stacked on top of each other in the same layout. But it's just like 6 people on one floor with one communal kitchen area, and then like 6 rooms separate. But I found that made it so that everyone who lived together on the same floor were automatically like really close to each other. So it kind of already created these friendship groups that were really hard to penetrate. I would say in second year, like this year now, we're definitely like more blended together. It's definitely difficult, especially at first, and I think the only way that you can really make friends is to put yourself out there. For Freshers Week, I didn't really go out, but I know a lot of people who made so many good friends from going out on Freshers Week. So that's one thing that I would say: go out of your comfort zone, go to Freshers Fair, go to some of the events that are on. Also, like a lot of the time at uni, there's lots of different clubs. So if something suits you, then definitely go for it. How did you feel when you first moved into your uni accommodation? Again, I think I touched on this a little bit when I was talking about what's the most difficult part about moving away for uni. I definitely felt a real big heightened amount of anxiety, like the amount of times that I was on FaceTime to Luke crying my eyes out because I was so stressed or like anxious and on edge and I didn't know what to do. Definitely felt that loneliness and homesickness, but again, like I said, I kind of stuck it out for the first 2 to 3 months I was at uni. Because I knew that coming home frequently would make it probably worse. I think at first when my mum and her partner and Luke left, I was so lonely and homesick, and it was difficult for the first couple of weeks, but evidently you do settle in eventually. What would you say are the key things to do to keep yourself on track / motivated / in good mental health? Ooh, this is a good question. This was definitely something that I struggled with at the start of university, but one thing that I would say, and this is a lot easier said than done, is try your hardest not to fall behind. If you don't finish your lecture notes in lecture, write them straight away, because otherwise that is something else that is adding to your to-do list, and the more overwhelming your to-do list becomes, the harder everything's going to feel and the worse you're going to feel mentally. One thing that I will also say is super important is getting the right amount of sleep. I had a long stretch of time where I just was not sleeping enough at all. I was probably getting about 4 hours sleep averagely every night. It was really rough, but definitely try your hardest to get a good amount of sleep. I always have like Saturday as like my rest day, where I will sleep until my body wakes up naturally. I will not set any alarms on Saturdays. I will just wake up until my body feels like it's ready to get up, and then on Sundays I allow myself until 10 a.m. in bed. And also try and give yourself a good work-life balance. Try not to hold yourself up in the library or in the Costa Coffee or wherever you choose to do work, and make sure that you spend time talking to people, or going on walks is such a great thing to do, just to clear your head, or go on a drive if you can drive. it's just a really great way to clear your head and again keep your mental health better. Being active is so great for releasing those negative endorphins, so I do try to do that as well. There's lots of things that you can do to implement, even like a 5-minute meditation if that's something that you're into. Personally, I don't do meditation, but I do things like scrapbooking and journaling, so that is my type of kind of meditation and reflection. How do you find your second year house / how does that work? So I've had quite a few, this one's come up a lot because I actually have this like tagged with how many people asked. How did we source or get our second year uni house? So something that we were told by the university was to wait until the student portal opens, until we went to find student accommodation for second year. There was only, I believe, something like 180 on the student portal in total. And then there was only 3 properties that were suitable for 3 people. Now, one thing that I didn't know until I was freaking out, I messaged my friend Sophia. Her dad's an estate agent and he said if I ever needed help, just give him a message. So I asked for help, and basically what she did is inform me that there is student accommodation or rented properties for students that are actually under actual estate agents as well. That's how we found ours. We went through an estate agents. We actually went through a website called Rightmove in the UK, and we found some student accommodations there. You can actually filter for student accommodations, so if you are not finding anything by your university, they are technically reliable for finding you somewhere to live, so you can always complain or try going the way that we went. Technically I think it's classified as going like the private way, but we have all of the legal documents and we have saved all of our paperwork, so just make sure you're being very, very vigilant. Make sure you read exactly to the T everything on your document. Any documents that get sent to you, anything that you want to, that they want you to sign, make sure you read them all fully. It is a longer process, I think, than getting a one that is already university listed, but it was definitely worth it for us, and the property quality that we got was so much better than any of them that were on the university pro portal. Why did you not choose to live with your boyfriend? My younger sister actually thought I was moving in with my boyfriend as well, so let's talk about this. I didn't move in with my partner because he was starting his own business. I was halfway through uni, as you guys know, and also it was just a bit of a rush time and we weren't ready. We need some stuff, well, my partner needs to get like transferred from work, things like that, so he needs more time to organize that kind of thing. The reasons why is just because like of our own stuff that's going on. However, we may be moving in together next year. It's not set in stone, it's just something that we're looking at. What comes after your degree? Again, I touched on this, so it comes after my degree I go into teaching, but I do 2 years as an ECT, an early careers teacher. I do get paid for this, a decent salary I believe, and then after those 2 years you're just a fully qualified teacher and you just don't have a different title. That's literally it. What type of events are arranged for you at university? There's quite a lot. We have like a student hub or the SU, student unions, and they will arrange certain things to go on. There'll be student nights in local pubs or bars or clubs for students to get money off. There will be other people there of course, but you get money off on drinks if you're a student. So they do quite a few different things. We've done a foam party, we've done a silent disco. Yeah, there's plenty of options to go out. There's also plenty of clubs, like there's a book reading club, netball, football, rugby, you have swim groups, you have outdoor adventure activities or rock climbing groups, lots of fun stuff. What clubs are offered to you? Again, like I just listed, there's sports, there is there is a anime one, there is also board game ones, there's puzzle building ones, there's loads of different ones that you can choose from, and if something is missing that you feel like should be there, then you can always become the creator of the group and make a group of people to do it, and then you'll get a new society / club that you can join. How did you know that you had chosen the right degree? For me, I always knew that I wanted to be a primary school teacher from a very young age. When I was younger, I used to force my mom to sit down and my siblings and play teacher with them, and then as I grew older I just kind of was so into helping my nieces with schoolwork and things like that. Like I'm quite blessed in that way, because I know a lot of people aren't sure, especially when they go to university. You're not sure that you're doing the right degree, that you're going to go into the right career path, that you really want to go into that career path, and I completely understand why people find that decision difficult. And I also would like to say here that university is not for everyone. It doesn't suit everyone, and there is nothing wrong with anyone who chooses not to go to university. It's a choice. at one point I was thinking maybe I'll just work for a year and then choose to go to uni after the pandemic, and I'm glad that I didn't. But you know, there's loads of different options out there, and it's not the only route to getting a job or a higher paying job in society. How do you keep your relationships from back home when you move away for university? This just comes back down to, like, I guess putting effort into those friendships and making sure that you message them or have a group chat. So I have a group chat with my 2 close friends from home, like here, and we talk in that quite often. I'm back for this week and I've arranged to go out with Katie. What do you do if your course isn't the right one? Or you change your mind? There's loads of options. If you choose that your course is not right, you can either do a course transfer, which the university will help you to set up. You might have to start from first year again in some cases, or in others you can just transfer straight over to the course, as long as it's got like some connection to the course that you were doing prior. Or you can choose that university is not for you and you might choose to not continue the year. You won't get your money back, but you can obviously drop out. I don't really like the term drop out, but you can choose that you don't want to stay at university, and that is of course just as valid. There's lots of advisors that can talk to you and help you through what you're finding difficult. Sometimes they might find a way that actually makes the course work for you, and other times they might find a different course that suits you better, that you really want to do and you actually love the sound of and never thought of doing. So there's loads of other options, and to be honest, you're probably better off talking to your academic advisor or the advisors around you at your university to find out what options there are for you personally. Is it all lecture led? I'm gonna say yes, majority of it is lecture led. In my particular course we do seminars as well. From me personally and from what I know from my friends, it is mostly lecture led and relies on you to self-motivate yourself to do all the prep and the in-session task. What are / how many exams do you have? So luckily for me, I only have one exam, and that is just the English exam, and that's to check your phonics and your grammar knowledge. So yeah, we have one written exam and that is it. And the rest is made up of our assignments and our placements, but this is obviously very personal to my personal degree. Do you do minor or major degrees? I'm pretty sure this is like an American term, like minor and majoring degrees. So like I believe they do like a major in a certain thing, and then the minor is basically they're like something else that they choose to study alongside for extra points, like UCAS points. So from what I took from this is like my major degree overall is obviously primary education, but then I'm doing a minor of physical education because I'm getting extra training in physical education, but I'm not sure if that's correct at all. I'm not sure how that American term kind of correlates to British like universities. Yes, that is everything. I have been talking for almost 50 minutes. It is now 10 p.m. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel if you're new around here and would like to see more videos from me, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. And if you have any further questions that you want me to answer, leave them in the comments box below.